Cranchi ha prodotto imbarcazioni di...
Cranchi has made all types of boats, but it's hardtops that have always been successful. This is the Cranchi M44HT, and we've chosen to test it out for two good reasons. The first one is the enormous experience Cranchi has with this type of boat. The second is that we're talking about one of their very successful recent launches, so we've just got to try it out.
La linea è moderna da subito.
It's a modern range, immediately gives the impression of new. The hardtop structure and the carbon look swimboard make it all the more sporty looking.
Voglio cominciare l'analisi di questa barca.
I want to start our boat research with the propulsion system. We're looking at two 330 horsepower D60 engines. Usually boats this size have bigger engines like 200 horsepower.
Riducendo la potenza, hanno potuto utilizzare un sistema di propulsione...
Lowering power though here, they've managed to use the stern drive propulsion. So the engine room doesn't have to be so big, which in turn means there's more living space inside the boat. It's not going to be a boring test. It's quite choppy out there.
Cominciamo dalla minima velocità di planata, quella che dovete tenere quando le situazioni sono...
Starting at minimum planing, the point you need to be in really critical situations, and you need to really control the boat's direction. The boat needs to be heading in the right direction. The boat's going at the right speed.
Stiamo staccando la scia.
We're coming away from the wake, so let's put our foot down a bit. We'll keep the trim in the lowest position. If the sea gets too choppy, we'll lower the flaps too. Doesn't look like we'll need to here though.
Ed eccoci planata.
And we're planing at about 13 knots.
La giornata è fresca, l'aria è frizzante, ma si
It's quite fresh today, there's a nip in the air, but you can keep the top down because not much wind comes in.
L'aerodinamica di questo...
The aerodynamics of this hardtop have been well studied. As for the rest, like I said, Cranchi is a master when it comes to this type of boat. Even though we are moving ahead and into the waves, I think I can accelerate a bit more.
Sto prendendo un po' al mascone di sinistra.
I'm getting a bit on the left, drifting. That helps. Now though, I want to try and go up against a wave.
Ecco una bella velocità di crociera.
This is a good cruising speed, 20 knots.
Siamo a 2500 giri minuto e...
And we're at 2,500 revs a minute and consuming about 3.5 litres a mile. You can really feel the waves.
Beh, è stata un po' colpa mia, perché dovete sapere...
I'm slightly at fault here, as you need to know the waves should be tackled head on. If we put one of the boat's sides up against the wave, of course the water's going to hit hard against it. And it wouldn't be long before you'd need lengthways runners, skates, in order to cut it.
Meglio quindi andare proprio contro le onde.
So it's better if we go against the waves like this.
Il sole va e viene.
The sun is coming and going. Makes the countryside look even nicer with these low clouds on the horizon.
Mi piace questo assetto con mare in prua.
I like this position, sea to the bow. But if we change direction and have the sea behind us, what happens to the boat? How does she handle?
Il vantaggio di questo...
The advantage of this yacht is that we have the stern drive, so there are two ways to correct the course, trim and flap. Okay, seas to the side. I'll correct the flap. I'll see if I can straighten it up.
Molto bene.
Really good, positive effect.
In realtà questa barca ha degli interceptor che sono...
The boat, in truth, has interceptors, which are blades that descend to the stern mirror and appear just a few centimetres away from the line of the hull, but just enough to change the incline of the boat both longitudinally and lengthwise.
La lasciamo alle nostre spalle Grado, bellissimo.
Grado is over there. Gorgeous. Have you seen it? And we're heading towards San Giorgio di Nogaro, where Cranchi has its nautical base.
Ora abbiamo il mare in poppa.
So now the sea is behind us and I'm going to take the flaps down completely. I don't want the bow to pitch in the dip of the wave, or it would have the wave leading me. I want to be directing this boat with the stern driver, rudder, and direct the boat exactly where I want it to go.
Sento che posso dare gas.
I think it's ready to go a little faster. Dance a little, and we need to fully try her out.
A proposito, giù la manetta.
So down goes the throttle and up goes the trim.
Nonostante le condizioni riesco a tenere una velocità di
Even with these conditions, I'm managing to keep to a cruising speed of 25 knots and 2,800 revs a minute. And consumption has stayed stable at 3.6 litres a mile.
Certo che
Of course, I want to push it to the max.
di provarla fino in fondo.
Do a thorough test, you know. Lift the flaps. And give it some trim. 30, 31, 3004, 3005. A little flap on the straight. 33, 34, 34 knots.
4 nodi di velocità con un'imbarcazione di 14
With
metri.
a 14-metre boat, 12 tons, two 330 horsepower engines. Would never have believed it.
Il fatto è che il cantiere ha detto che
The boatyard said they could do 35 knots. Why can't I?
Forse perché il mare è mosso?
Maybe because the sea is choppy. I'll play around with the flaps
Ok. E adesso
and raise some trim.
Sì, sento dal rumore che
I can hear from the noise that the engine revs are going up. Ah yes, they're singing now. And how? Probably using every one of those 330 horses. And here we are, 35 knots. We're there. And I'm happy.
superata brillantemente la prova di
It passed the sail test with flying colours. Let's see now how the motorisation engine choice has influenced the living quarters. Below deck there is a lovely dining area. It's important with a hardtop to have an area like this one, with a decked out kitchen and a lunch or relax zone for evenings, or whenever the weather stops you from going out. Cranchi is a master of space usage, an important quality, as there's never enough space on a boat. There are two cabins. At the bow there's an elegant captain's table with two wardrobes, the latest cabinets, a corner to sit down and read a book, and a dedicated bathroom. There are 3 bunks in the guest room. It's in the centre of the boat, low down. You'll definitely rest well here. Then 2 bunks can be put together to form a big double bed. Above deck there's the characteristic sun deck on the bow bridge, with drinks and general storage. The sun deck at the stern is surrounded by a pretty wide and submersible swimboard. Then there's a sofa for 5 people with an extendable table. And on the left, there's the kitchen and chaise lounge. The hardtop means you get a fantastic wide open vista to look at the sky. Cranchi has 4 production bases, all in the north of Italy, close to Lake Como. At Piantedo, the company's original base, then Collico and Rogolo for boats up to 80 feet long. There are also 2 plants in Udine in San Giorgio di Nogaro. In one they produce the smallest boat bits, and the other is where they built the biggest yachts and assemble them, especially those parts that cause trouble transporting the boat along the road. At San Giorgio di Nogaro, there's the private quay and Italo Monzino Marine Test Centre, where all the Cranchi boats are tried out, 365 days a year, holidays included.
Well
then, so if you like the M44 HT, I'd say there were some good reasons to buy it.
Come? Il prezzo? Devo dirvelo?
What are you asking? The price? Do I have to tell you? And it was all going so well. Okay then, starting at €300,000.